Hey guys, this is the Hidden Matrix and welcome back to another video on the channel. And in today's video, you'll know by the title, we're going to be drawing Sonic the Hedgehog, and it's going to be the Sonic X cartoon style. So I look forward to doing this tutorial and showing you guys how to draw Sonic the Hedgehog, and hopefully it'll turn out really well, and I hope you guys have a really good Sonic the Hedgehog Sonic X style drawing at the end of this. And of course, to get into drawing this, we need to make sure that we have the right tools. So in Clip Studio Paint, the program that I'm using a pencil tool right now with the font size, the brush size at 10 number. So that is from also using a tool which is from the store you can get for free on Clip Studio Paint as well, so that's also handy. So it's a very good pencil tool, and I think it really does give off a really nice pencil feeling for digital art. But if you are using paper for your drawing and using a pencil and you want to make sure you have a rubber, that's perfectly fine as well, and have rulers for measurements if you need to measure lines and everything, that's perfectly fine. You can follow along, and this tutorial will still be useful for you guys if you're on paper or digital. It doesn't matter, you should still yield the same results no matter what you're using to draw. So without further ado, step one for the drawing tutorial will be to draw the character and construction. So what I want to do now is start off simply with a circle. So this circle will represent what's inside the head. So this will represent the eyes and the mouth muzzle area of your nose and the eyebrows. And then simply what you want to do then is go with the axis of how you want the head to be in the direction that it's facing, where you want your head and everything. So this will be how Sonic is going to look. In this direction he's kind of going off this way, the way he's facing. And then for the body, what we're going to do is kind of like a oval egg kind of shape, and that is going to be Sonic's body in there. And then what you can do is go with his leg, and it's going to go out, and it's going to be the middle point there, and then we'll have a leg going down. It'll kind of go at the same, if that was a straight line, they would meet level at the end of those lines, and that'll represent the middle. So once you've got that, something simple there for the head, the body and the legs, what we'll do now is inside the body there's going to be Sonic's hands. So to make sure that we get this right, what we're going to do is start off with a line over here, and then what we'll do is we'll go about there, and eventually we'll go up here. And what this is going to do is going to be the glove for Sonic, and with his hand it's going to be going slightly into the mouth area. So want to cut across that head a little bit, that bottom line on the head for that circle. And then what we're going to do is curve into the glove that we've got, and we're going to go round and make an oval kind of shape for the finger, well, for the fingers and the palm, the whole hand. And what we'll do from here is we'll go from the top. I'm going to kind of do like a rectangle shape for, so like a kind of almost like a curved rectangle shape for the finger that's pointing upwards, as his hand's not fully in a closed hand shape position. So it's kind of, he's got like one of his really cool poses. And then what we're going to do is going to go slightly out with this, and this will represent the bend in the fingers. And then this one will go to about there, and that'll be fine for the fingers. And then you can just separate them off a bit there as well, and we'll get further to that a little bit later. And we can also add in the thumb, so that the thumb will start from the point of the first finger, and it will finish around the where the first finger will end and the second finger will start, and something like that. I'll make it a little bit bigger for now and get rid of those lines in there, and that should be okay. I'm happy with that. Make sure the lines are as clear as they can. And what I'm going to do is also going to get rid of everything inside the hand as well. So with that cleared, what we can do next is we will now go draw the second hand. So with the glove, when we draw in the detail, it will slightly go, part of it will go slightly just above the muzzle line on the bottom. So we'll keep that in mind, as it will curve kind of upwards into it, but we won't do that detail there right now. We'll just keep the detail simple for now. But what we're going to do is go and do a line across, because this line that we're doing across is going to represent where the arm for the right hand is going to be. So that will represent that, and what I'll do is I will actually just go and extend this a little bit more, so make this a little bit bigger, because where this will be will also represent how long the arm is as well. And I can rub everything inside of that out, and then, like I say, we'll draw in the arm. So this arm is kind of like a rectangle, two symmetrical lines on the top and the bottom, and then eventually you're just going to curve the edge off. So you're going to curve outwards, and it's going to be like connecting a C shape to two symmetrical lines on the end right there, and you have something like that for the arm. And then once you've got that, what we'll do is it's now going to be helpful for us to draw in the sort of the elbow area for the left arm, and this will represent the bend in sort of like the fold in him crossing his arms. That's what he's doing, he's crossing his arms in this pose. And then what we'll do is we'll now go and draw in the hand. So what we'll do with this is we're going to kind of do like a circle bowl shape, and this will represent kind of like the palm. And with this we can also add in the finger, which will go around about here. So it's a line diagonally down, and then you're going to go do a line across. You're going to then, what we'll do is we'll go and curve it like that, and we can then start to see how things are sort of developing. You can do a line like that, and it's like a sideways Y shape there for that, and with the sort of the knuckle curving, and we can then just improve these lines and do the third knuckle as well, and then the top knuckle will just be a little bit normal. And what I'll do is rub out things, and you guys can see the knuckles that I'm drawing, and then you can copy, and it should be quite easy. I'm sorry if I'm going quick, but I just don't want to take too long, because I've noticed in recent tutorials that I'm doing, I do tend to take a little bit too long and go into detail with too much things, so I don't want to do that too much in this. So I don't want to bore you guys and put you off a 1 hour video of drawing, and I want to try and put an hour into 30-20 minutes of a video, really. So try and shorten it down there. But what also helps with the glove is to also just separate it, and that will represent the fold eventually, but it won't be a full line across. It just shows that it's sort of got folds and creases in the glove. So once you've got that, what we'll do now is we can draw in the belly on Sonic's body, so his skin part of his belly. And to keep note of how it is, we'll go from here, and so you don't want to go further than the arm, so around out here, and then you'll just curve it to the edge, and then it will eventually just curve down over here, and then you'd have the leg. And with the leg, since we have a better idea now of the positioning of the leg, we can understand how the leg will be in the position where it will be. So with this, what we're going to do is now going to go and cut across the leg, and it's going to then go and do one side down here. So the middle point wasn't exact, but it's good to get some construction so you have an idea of how things are going to be. And we're going to go down with a line and go across, and the darker lines are what I'm using in this, so keep that in mind. The darker lines where I'm going over the over other lines, that it's always the dark lines that I'm going to be finishing with this current line. So with this, what we're going to do with the body is going to be a slight gap, and then eventually it's going to curve outwards, and it's going to try and keep the lines also symmetrical as well, so keep them very symmetrical throughout. And then what I'll do is just rub out any lines that kind of feel like they're getting in the way, and we can eventually just improve them, make them look nicer. Of course, you want to make sure you clean as you go. Mine's a little bit scruffy, but you guys want to make sure that you look after your drawings and keep them nice and everything throughout, so keep that in mind. What I'll do is just give a little bit more bend to that line to separate the two legs, and then from here we're going to go down and eventually meet up at the bottom over here. And what I will do is I think I will just slightly go a little bit more there. So since I felt like the legs were going to be a little bit too skinny, so I just brought out the line slightly a little bit more. And you want to kind of keep the legs symmetrical as I was saying as well. So try and keep both legs the same kind of distance, and get rid of lines as well inside there, so it makes it easier to see the thickness of each one of them as well. And you can always improve as you go if you need to. That's perfectly fine. Also with the hand, what I'm decided to do is I'm just going to decide to shrink it down, because looking at it I just realised it does look a little bit too big compared to that over there, so the other arm. So it's just a quick little adjustment there, and that'll look perfectly fine, and we can come back to that later. That's no worries. So once we've got that, what we'll do is, since I think the drawing might just have not enough space for the shoes, I'm going to bring that up. Let's make sure that on your paper, I should have mentioned, you should always make sure you don't draw things too big. You want to have enough space to do absolutely everything that you're drawing. So with this, what we're going to do is get rid of this baseline that we drew before. I'm going to draw some new ones. So with this, we're going to get the line and kind of just curve around the foot like that, just to show the inside of the sock. So going with that other line, and there you go. Connect that to that there, and that's okay. So you've got that. Then what we're going to do is some placeholder for the socks, and what we're going to do is just go down like that and go around, and we'll go down like that as well. And on the other side, what we can do is we can then also go like this, and we'll go around it, try and keep the line, so if you were to cut into the leg it would be consistent. And we're going to go down like that, and what we'll do on the other side is we'll go from here and something like that. And what I might do is just quickly, I will just go and improve the size on the other one now, make that a little bit better and look a bit nicer. And then what I can do is go back to the other one and improve that size, so it looks a little bit more respectable and better for the size that we do have with Sonic. And now we have something like this. What we can now do is draw in the shoes. So with the shoes, what I like to do is draw very simple shapes to start off with. So it's going to be kind of like a triangle shape. What we're going to do to make the base and the placeholder for the shoe basically is a triangle shape. So something that quite simple. We'll kind of, instead of pointing the top, I think I'll curve it, and you can kind of just do baselines in there and then curve this one as well, the baseline also, so you got something like that. Also guys, if I am taking too fast with everything and you can't keep up, you can always pause the video throughout so you don't miss a part of this, and so you can keep up really, because I don't want to go too fast for you guys. So now you've got this, what we can do is I will widen that out a little bit, because I don't want to make this one look too big, this shoe, but we're going to go outwards with this. And then what we're going to do is, with this bottom line, we're going to go and curve it. And sorry, there's a lot of scruffy lines once again, but I will rub out the scruffy lines. And what we'll do is we'll end up curving this in, and then these will come a lot better once we've got the socks as well, since once we've developed the socks, everything should look a little bit more better, because they will be a little bit more developed and cover a little bit more space than what they're covering right now, as they'll cover a little bit more and go out a little bit more with the curving and everything. But it should be okay for now, and we'll come back to that. And what we'll do is we'll just go like this with the shoe, and down on that side as well, so that'll be okay. And most likely we'll come back to them later to adjust the size, as the want to kind of keep them consistent with everything, as looking at one shoe it looks massive and the other one not so, but things will get sorted out throughout it, of course. So yeah, but make sure to keep yours a lot more clean than mine and not as scruffy. That'll definitely help you guys out a lot. So with this that we've drawn so far, what we can now do is draw in the sort of the back of his body. There's some spikes. He's got a tail spike and he's got some shoulder spikes, so we're going to draw those in. So going down to, I'd say, about in line with this finger, we go down and curve the tail, and we're going to go back over here, something like that will do. I'm going to go bring that down a little bit more as well, since I don't want it going too far up on the back of the body of Sonic. And then with the spike on the first shoulder spike, what we're going to do is we're going to go from here, just below the last finger part of what we did before. We're going to go and curve down, and it's just about going to be a small gap. It's not going to perfectly be in line with the end of the tail spike. It's going to be slightly brought forward, and it's going to then join up by around about the second hand finger over there, and something like that is okay. And then for the next shoulder spike that's just about showing, it's going to be going, so starting around there, it's going to be curving down, going to touch in the tail spike, and then it's going to curve back in like so. And you should have something like that, and that's okay. And I'm happy with this so far, and it's looking great. So with this now all sorted, what's better to do than actually go and draw in Sonic and actually make it look like Sonic's? I think that what everyone will want to do right now. You know, to make a Sonic drawing, you actually want to draw Sonic. So inside the head, what we're going to do now is we're going to go and draw and start the muzzle. So going from here, it's going to slightly go above the line we did, but it's going to curve back down. So it's going to go like that, and then it's going to go a little bit across, and then it's going to curve, and you should meet the middle point, and eventually you're going to kind of curve it down like that, but the nose will be covering that point, so it's not too much of a big deal to draw this line, but it gives you an idea of how the muzzle would look if you were to do the full outline of the muzzle and everything. So something like that, and you just have it join up there, and we'll get rid of any excess lines in the middle and just get rid of things we don't need, so we can clean as we go, as we say. Is that it will make drawing in detail a lot easier if you clean as you go. And I'm sorry if I'm confusing you or not making too much sense as I'm going quickly, but I'm trying to explain as much as I can in as quick as time as possible, as I've been saying. So with that, what we're going to do next is we're going to draw in the eyes, so the white part of the eyes. So with this, we're going to go and curve, and they're going to be really, really big curves, and it's going to then go down, and eventually, since the white gap, you want to keep in mind the white gap is usually there's a little bit less white gap to the muzzle and the eyebrow, but there's a little bit more than usual, so keep your gap around about what I've done. And then what we're going to do is curve this line upwards, and this is going to be separating the two eyebrows, and then we're going to go and curve in the next part of the white eye. So this white eye is going to start over here, and it's going to curve inwards. You can start from whichever side you want, that makes it easier. And this will go up like this, and it's going to be kind of in line with the other side of the eye. And we're going to go and curve this in like that. And then what I think it would be helpful to do is slightly just move this one a little bit more across, as we don't want it being too, let's say, too big, the white eye. So you don't want too much of it showing. So to make sure of that, make sure that there isn't too much to show, and make sure we get the right length with the other part of the eye and everything. Just make sure it's all okay, and you should have something like this. And I'll just rub lines and make it as clean as possible, and get rid of guidelines in here, so you can see everything that's going inside of it. So you've got that. Then what we can do to make things a little bit easier is draw in the nose. So I like to start off with a little circle, and then I can use it as my guideline, my starting point and my ending point. So with this, we're going to go and curve it upwards, and it's going to go outwards, and then it's going to eventually have a little curve on the top, and then it's going to gradually curve back round, and you're going to meet it up with the end of what we did. And so with this, it goes down a little, and you've got the curve in there as well. And then you should have something like this. And what we can do then is go and just rub out everything inside of here. So with that, what we'll do now is a little bit of glow inside of this nose, and that'll represent that Sonic is healthy, so that's a good thing. Everyone wants to know that Sonic's healthy. We don't want an unhealthy blue hedgehog, do we? No, we do not. So we've got that. And now that can be coloured in, and you'll see that we've got a nice nose for Sonic now. You can smell. His senses have been heightened. Right, so we've got that, and I'm happy with that. So what we can do next is draw in the eye for Sonic on his left eye. So with this left eye, what we're going to do is, it's kind of like a really stretched out oval kind of a shape, and it's going from kind of the middle point of around about over here. And what we're going to do is we're going to curve it and keep it the same throughout, keep the consistency the same. So be gentle with drawing your lines and careful and consistent with these. So something like that I'm happy with. And then we're going to go and do the outside of the right eye, and it's going to go from here. It's going to be touching the muzzle, and then on the other side we're going to go and then eventually curve it, and we can go from the top even as well and join these two together. And as you see, that's how it's looking, and so just something like that. Then we'll go back to the left eye, and we're going to do inside of it. So with it, there is going to be a nice little white circle there, and then you've got a bit of black. So with this black, we'll do the outline and then colour it in. And what I might do is I might just rub out a little bit there, because I felt it was going a little bit too wide with that. So just bring it in a little bit more, and that'll be okay. And then what I'll do is just rub out a little bit inside of there, and then just go over it a little bit more, and you'd have something like that fit inside the Sonic's eye. There's not that much showing really. It's very odd the way his eye's been done to most ways, but this is the cartoon style of Sonic, so it's going to be slightly different. So with the black part of the eye, it's going to be slightly different how we do it this time. So going around and doing the eye, we're going to go and do the black bit first. And then what I like to do is go in then and rub out a little bit of a white glow, and then what we'll do is we'll just connect the white glow up a little bit there, and that looks nicer, and make sure there's a bit of a gap, so let's improve that. And then you got that little white glow like I was saying, and then you can have a look and you can kind of see. And then what I might do, since I was drawing too lightly, I can just do a little bit more darker with the glow, and then everything will be okay, and you should have something fine. And yeah, we'll get there, and we are looking really good for the drawing, and I'm happy so far with the progress, and it's looking great. So with Sonic, he's actually looking a little bit more Sonic-like, isn't he, right now? He's definitely getting there. He's definitely getting the thing you kind of want to look with Sonic, really. He's kind of getting his look going, and his style and his coolness, which is great, and I'm happy with it so far. And then, so the last thing to do with the mouth is also now to draw in his smile. So with this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off from here, and I'm going to curve it, and it's going to curve inwards to about there. You have a little flick that goes out, and then just go back a bit, and then it's going to curve, and we're going to eventually say meet it up around there, and then we'll go and curve inside like that. And what I can do is just rub out a few lines and just improve the line width and everything, the line weight of this pencil effect of the mouth, and make it look a little bit nicer. And then you've got that, and then he's got a little bit of sort of teeth separation, so he's got like a line, and he's got a bit of a line up there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my rubber, and I'm going to change the size, and I'm going to make these two a little bit more thinner and point off a little bit more, since I didn't have really. So with these, just try and make sure your pencil's sharp when doing these, so they'll come out nicer and how you want them to. So kind of going pointy, and they're quite thin as well when drawing these. And so we're going to go with that and something like that, and yeah, that should be okay. I'm happy with that. And then what I'm going to do is just slightly just make sure the top is nicely curved, so it's consistent throughout, and we should have something that looks pretty nice. And Good. And yeah, I'm happy with the mouth, and make sure that the end is pointy as well when drawing that, so it looks nicer and it'll all be good. And yeah, I'm happy with that. So looking at that mouth, that should be okay. But of course my perfection is like, no, it's not actually that okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to slightly bring the curve up a little bit more, because I feel like it was bending too much into the mouth. So what I'm going to do is just bend it up a little bit, so it should be more nice. And I think I need to stop trying to go too perfectionist with this. So with that, what I'm going to do now is going to start drawing in more of the detail on the head. So with this, what we're going to do is now get rid of a few lines, and I'm going to improve my rubber size so I can rub things out a little bit easier. And what I'm going to do is draw in the eyebrows of Sonic. So with this, we're going to go and basically do the same line that we did before on the top, on the white eye on the top. So we're going to go round it, and we're going to finish off over there, and something like that. For the eye, we'll do well, the eyebrow will do great. So we've got that, and then on the other side, what we're going to do is going to do a line that goes across and cuts outwards, and then we're going to go from about here. I'm going to curve around the line, and this is going to represent the side eyebrow on his right eye, and it's going to go to about there with that. So I'm happy with that. That's all good. So once we've got that, I'm going to zoom out a little bit more, get my right view, and we're going to start drawing in Sonic's head, so for his spikes and everything. So with this, what we're going to do is going to curve it off. I hope I've got enough space. I think I should have enough space, so it shouldn't be too difficult, and it shouldn't be too flat, his head, for drawing this, and everything should nicely curve. So you want a nice gradual curve, and eventually we're going to go and curve this off, and it's going to become a spike. And with that top of the headline, we'll keep that as a baseline, because now what we can do is now add in the left ear. So with this, what we're going to do is make sure that we have a decent distance from the eyebrow, and we're going to do a line. I'm going to go and curve it, and so basically I'll clean that up a bit better. I'm going to curve that line. It's going to be basically a triangle within a triangle. So curving with this, and then go down. And then we're going to do the outside of it, so not too thick, this line, and then it will go and curve to about, I'd say around about there. And then what I'll do is just shorten that slightly, and then we can add in this bit, and then sort out that little bit there, and that's okay, and that's fine, and that should be perfectly fine for that ear. So you've got that ear. Then what we're going to do is we're now going to draw in the left ear, the right ear, and it's going to go from about here to about there, and we're going to then curve it from here. I'm going to connect the two together, and that's okay for that ear. So once you've got something like that and you're happy with it, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try and get these spikes to look okay. So with this, I want to make sure we've got a nice gradual curve with the spike, and we go out. And what we can also do is go from about here as well. So this will definitely be a trial and error. So I'm going to go from about there, I believe, and going to go and try and curve this off the best I can. These spikes might be a little bit awkward at first, but we'll get through them, and I'll just try and create kind of placeholder looking spikes and try and make them as best I can throughout. So with this, what we're going to do is go from here, and we're going to go and curve it, as this one is being curved down a little bit too much, so we can get that sorted. But with this one, it can be curved, and we can go from here, and that's going to curve down. The people who made this design like to bend Sonic spikes a lot. They kind of like have a classic look with a little bit of modernization to it, with a little bit of longer spikes, but it's pretty good, and it's just the 3 spikes with this design as well, so that's looking good, and I'm happy with this design, what they created. I really did like the Sonic X film. Well, not film, the TV series, I should say. I've watched it probably about 4 or 5 times over the whole seasons, every episode. It's a great thing to watch if you guys do want to watch something Sonic related. So going from this line, what we'll do, going back to the drawing, we're going to go and curve this down, and it's going to be around about, say about there it'll finish, and then it's going to go and curve it up. And what we'll do is make sure we get this line correct, nicely curved, and then what we'll do is nicely curve this off, and you should have an idea of how this is looking now, and it's looking a little bit more Sonic-like. This is Sonic right now. And yeah, it's looking okay. I'm happy with this, and of course I'll clean it up as I go and make it look nice, and yeah, just keep it the best I can with this throughout and everything. So this, what I'll do now is probably go and just quickly clean the drawings, and I can then move on to next things, but I will just quickly go and clean everything. So guys, after cleaning the drawing and just doing a little adjustment to the spikes, I've finally got the spikes position that I'm really happy with. I think I'll stick with that for now, and for the rest of the drawing, and I'm perfectly happy with how it's looking throughout the whole of the drawing. So yeah, without further ado, we'll carry on, and we will now work on the shoes. So with the shoes, what we're going to start off with is the white strap on the shoes. So with this, we're going to go and curve it. So go like this, and then curve that a little bit more, and then we go on the other side to about from here, and we're going to go and curve this, and that'll represent the white part of the strap on the shoe. So we've got that, and then what we'll do is we can now start developing the socks. So with the socks, what I want to do now is curve outwards and start removing lines that we don't need. So with this, we're going to go and get rid of some stuff in there, and then we're going to go and curve this one out, and it's going to be there, and it's going to go across and rub out the lines in that. And then what we're going to do is get rid of a few of those lines. We're going to go with this and cut inside, and eventually just curve it down a little, and then we're going to go and do a little flick inside like that for that part of it there. And so we've got that, and I'm happy with. We can now get rid of this line here, and we can go with this one and curve this up a little bit more for that, and that other side is fine. And then what we're going to do on the other sock is we're going to go and now we're going to go and curve this and give this a little bit more definition and detail, and so you have something like that curved off, and then we're going to go and curve that line inside so it's a little bit easy to see what's going on. I'm going to go outside with this, and then across down and diagonal a bit, and it's going to go into the shoe, and I'm going to go upwards. It's going to cut across that line we had before, so we've got something like that. And then I'm going to go down below it and draw the next bit of the line in. So this is going to curve, and eventually it's going to curve upwards, and it's going to go around something like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go and then draw a line and curve that like that there for that part of the sock. And then we're going to curve this upwards and join it up, this part of the shoe, sock, sorry, for the left shoe, for the left foot, and then we'll just get rid of everything in there. And then we'll move back to this over here, and that has a little curve in there also, so I'm happy with that. That's okay, all is good there, and the socks are looking a lot better and a lot nicer. So yeah, of course it's looking great, and we can then just even more improve that line that we've got for that part of the sock, and that's all good and happy. And we can just improve the top line and make sure that they connect well on the leg, and you can have a look and see how they look on there for a zoomed out view as well, and you can get an idea of how everything is looking, especially for this one. So what we'll do is just slightly bring this one a little bit more towards it, make that look even nicer, and that is great. And yeah, what I'll do is just improve that line so it connects better with that one, and I'm happy with that. So now we've got that, what we're going to do is now we're going to just get rid of all the lines in here we don't need, and get rid of that. So we've got this. What we're going to do is now draw in the sole of the shoe. So with the sole, what we're going to go and do is go down. So that'll represent how far it's going to go down. And then on the other side, what we can do is we can now start sort of drawing the proper line across that we want for the shoe. And then we can get rid of everything underneath it. Clean that up. And then we'll draw the sole in. So going around, just keep the line symmetrical throughout. The top line be like the bottom line. Keep that consistency. And then connect it up to the line we did before. You should have something like this for the sole and the shoe. And then going on to the top of the shoe, what we'll do is we'll then go and connect it up. And you should have something that's similar to this. So what I'll do as well, so my mic's in the way, so it's a bit hard to draw since I'm trying to draw over my mic. So it's like a little bit awkward, but it'll be okay. So we got that. Happy with that, and then just sort those lines. And we'll get an idea of how it's looking. And of course, just improve that line so that not looking so wonky, and it'll look a bit better. And then what I'll do is probably just looking at the end of this, it probably needs to be curved off a little bit better. I will come to that once we've drawn in the second shoe, as that's a bit more important right now. So with this, what we're going to do is going to go from this side, curve that line, and then what we'll do with the white strap is going from this side, the other side that we from what we were doing before. We're going to go from here, and we're going to go and curve it downwards like that, and then going from here we'll then curve it across, pretty much doing the same thing that we did on the top line on this bottom part of it. And you've got that, so that's okay for that part of the shoe, and I'm happy with that. And he's also got a bit of a yellow buckle as well on the shoe, so we'll draw in the yellow buckle, so it's going up and then curve that in like that. So you've got that. What we'll next do is we'll now start drawing the top line before we do the sole, so we know how the shoe will look before we draw in the sole, so we have a better idea of how things will look, and it'll look a lot nicer, and we'll get rid of these scruffy lines, as we don't want scruffy lines in a drawing, you know. You want to keep it as neat as possible, so there's less to do when you actually come to cleaning and just smartening your drawing once you've drawn everything in. So we've got that. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to curve the end, and it'll go up to here, and we'll get rid of these lines now as well. And so we've got something like that. We can now start preparing the sole of this shoe, and we'll have a better idea of how this shoe looks. So this line that we did pretty much starts from the same point we did of the line that we did down for the sole, so it'd be like the same size as the other shoe sole. So in the distance between each lines, so it's going around the shoe, and eventually it will curve in and connect to it like that, and then you can zoom out and you have an idea of how it looks. I'm happy with those two. What I might do though is I think I might just go and just move this one out a little bit longer, so making it a little bit more further out would probably be a lot better. So something like that will perfectly do, and I'm happy with that. And then what I'll do is just reconnect those lines in and make sure they're in correctly. So that's perfectly fine. I'm happy with all of that. So what we just need to do now is just add in the final details on the gloves and the hand that we did before. So with this top finger, what we're going to do is we're going to now just circle off the top of this finger, and you're going to have it nicely rounded now instead of it looking really pointy. And we're going to go and eventually curve it off there, and then we can get rid of everything inside of that, and that'll look a bit nicer. And yeah, everything won't look great right now, but it's all to be improved once I've drawn everything in. I will clean and improve and smarten up all my lines later off camera, but I'll try and clean up as much as I can right now. So go with all of this. So we've got that. What we're going to do now is with this top one of this finger, this first finger, we're going to curve it off now and make it look nice, so it's nice and curved off. And we can curve this top off as well on this part, and I'm going to go and curve this a little bit, and it's going to go down, and so we're going from about here, it's going to go curving out, and it's going to go something like that, and it's then going to go across and then all the way up like that there. That's good, and we can get rid of an old line just in there. There's a little gap, and that's okay. And then we can get rid of all the unneeded lines that we had before and smarten things up, of course. So we go with this line to smarten these lines that separate the fingers from each other, of course, and you should have something that looks nice and better, and you should have something that looks like a hand. And so we've got that. What we'll do is we'll then go with this. It's going to be like a kind of like a T shape, the fold in the finger, the bend, so something like that will do nicely. So once you've got that, what I'm going to do now is I'm now going to improve this thumb. So we'll start adding in the details to this thumb and how we want it. So with this thumb, what we're going to do is go from here, and eventually we're going to go and curve it off and make it look nice and how it should be. Get rid of all those edges so we get a better line for all of this, and clean inside of it like that, and I'm happy with that thumb. So something like that is okay. So once we've got that, we're now going to move on to the glove. So inside this, like I said, things will be cutting into the muzzle. So with this, it's going up on this, and then it's going to go and cut like that down, and the bottom of it is going to curve, and it's going to then from about here it's going to curve and then go inside and curve out there like that. And then you're going to go with the bottom of this glove. I'm going to go and shape it around the edge, so it's follow the lines that I'm doing, and then we'll have a nice looking shape to this, and that's okay. And of course rub everything inside of it out. Once it's all cleaned, then what you want to do is go from starting here. We're going to curve the start of the back of the glove and wrist part of the glove for the left hand. So then it was going to curve also in this a bit, and so you got something like this. And what we're going to do is just slightly shorten that down actually, and make sure that's okay. And then what we're going to do is I can just get rid of everything over here and redraw this line and curve that in like that. So now we've got that. Once we've got that, we will then start going on the edge and curving that, and on the bottom side of where in the middle of the hand, just above it in the middle of the glove, we've got like a line going up, and it's going to go down like that. So it's like a 7 shape almost there for that, so that's good. So once you've got that, what we'll do now is start improving this arm. So we're just going to thicken that top line and make it look a little bit better. And then with this bottom line, we're going to go make that look nice, and then we're going to go and curve the top off this and get rid of all the lines inside of the left glove. So once you've got all of that sorted, we now can just sort out this left hand a little bit more. So like we did before, we did a bit of the knuckles shape, and we'll just now define those a little bit more. So just going around what we did and just defining them a little bit and making them a little bit separate from the construction lines we did. And so going with this and go down, and eventually we'll have the shape we want. Just going around the outside of this correctly, so it kind of goes in a little bit then back out. And then from this, what we're going to do is kind of curve it a little bit more like inwards with the arch, and then we'll do like a point into the sort of the corner of the elbow of that arm. And then what we're going to do is going to do a line like a Y shape, and what we'll do is just this bottom line, going to improve that, because what we're going to do is just go down a little bit more, since it's going a little bit too high up. And so we're just going to bring that angle of that line downwards, and we should be okay with that. And of course, just improve this knuckle bits by just cleaning those lines, making them look nicer. A good drawing is always a well cleaned and smart drawing with the lines. So if you've got good, clean, crisp lines that are smooth and well looked after, then you should always have a really nice looking drawing. So guys, this is Sonic the Hedgehog Sonic X cartoon style. Once you have gone through the video following the steps with how to draw this style of Sonic the Hedgehog, and I'm really happy with how it's turned out. I think it looks really good, and I hope you guys think the drawing is really good, and I hope yours has turned out great also. So what I'm going to do off camera is just clean up this drawing a little bit more and just have the outlines and the lines looking a little bit nicer, a little bit more clean and not all over the place, and just to make it not look so rough and just to make it look a little bit nicer really for the eye, and make it a little bit more aesthetically pleasing and acceptable for when I come to also shading it off camera, as what I'm going to be doing next once I'm back after I've finished cleaning up the drawing and shading the drawing. I'm going to be doing a color time lapse. So if you guys would like to also color in Sonic and have a colourful Sonic the Hedgehog Sonic X cartoon style, then be sure to stay for the colour time lapse and watch that through, and you'll have an idea of how to then draw Sonic in Sonic X cartoon style. And yeah, hopefully you'll have a great Sonic once that is done. So I'll see you guys once that's all sorted, and of course be ready for the colour time lapse. So guys, there you have it. That is Sonic the Hedgehog Sonic X cartoon style. Once you have shaded him in and cleared up your drawing and made it look nice, and yeah, I'm really happy with how this is looking, and yeah, it's brilliant and it really does look great, and I'm just happy with it all around with everything. So yeah, I hope you guys also like it as well, and I hope your Sonic the Hedgehog has turned out really good if you'd followed this tutorial and drawn the same picture. And if you are drawing a different picture of Sonic but looking for tips on how to draw a cartoon style Sonic like Sonic X, then I hope you've been able to take a few pointers and a few tips from this. But of course, if you want a few more tips on how to also color Sonic and the best way to add in that detail and best way to blend in colors and the colors that are best to use for Sonic in this style, then no need to worry, as I have the color time lapse coming up next very soon. And yeah, so so the colored version of Sonic, I'm sure it'll turn out brilliant, as I'm doing it in line art, since I prepared a line art version, as you'll see shortly. So I'm going to color that version in. So we'll have a line art colored version, and we have this pencil shaded version, and you can choose which one you prefer and choose which one's the best. Of course, you can leave down in the comments which one you prefer, of course, and you can also show that you like the drawing or both drawings by hitting that like button. That'd be very much appreciated if you got this far in the video. So without further ado, let's start the color time lapse. And there you have it, guys. That is Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic X cartoon style. And I'm really happy with the colour, and I hope you guys are really happy with how this looks as well. And hopefully you have a really good Sonic the Hedgehog after watching this tutorial and following the steps that have been shown in the drawing tutorial, so you guys can draw an amazing Sonic and show off to your friends, and hopefully learn a thing or two, a few tips that you can use to improve your art massively, and yeah, just go with that extra level and improve your art just hugely. And I hope you guys did enjoy the video. And if you did, be sure to hit that like button, that'd be very much appreciated. And if you're new around here and you'd like to see more drawing tutorials from me and Minecraft Bedrock Survival World series, and currently also the Minecraft Dungeon series, then be sure to hit that subscribe button with the notification bell turned on so you don't miss an upload, and join this awesome community and channel. That'd be very much appreciated, and that'd be highly appreciated from me. And once again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you'd like to see more drawing tutorials from me, there'll be some in the description below linked to the different videos I have on the channel, and I also have a playlist in the channel. You'll find it if you look at the videos in my channel, and I also have some annotations that will be included in the video, some cards. So if you check the eye in the top right corner as Sonic is pointing, then you should be able to find some more drawing tutorials. So yeah, hope you guys have a great rest of your day, week, wherever you guys are from. Stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!